Petty revenge with a little bit of pro-revenge? I like to think so. Hello there, beautiful Redditors. I'm a 36-year-old woman with a story of petty revenge that might have a hint of pro-revenge mixed in. I grew up in a deeply abusive and neglectful home, which led me to years of therapy. I struggled with complex PTSD, anxiety, and attempts to reconcile with my parents. Unfortunately, they made it clear they had no intention of changing their ways, so I went no contact with them. My father, in particular, is a narcissist who tries to control everyone around him. When I married my husband, he sat me down and insisted I get my husband in line because he thought he was being disrespected. That's when I realized how severe the problem was. My mother followed my father's every whim, and after years of trying to set boundaries, my father slammed his hand on the table and declared, "I am who I am, and you're not going to change me." He even threatened me, saying that if anyone ever called Child Protective Services on him, he would lie to them and make it look like I was well taken care of. This was just a fraction of the abuse I endured from both him and my mother. So where does the revenge come in? I started seeing a trauma therapist who encouraged me to embrace my anger as part of the healing process. I had never been allowed to express my anger before, as it was dangerous with my father. During one session, we discussed small ways to inconvenience my parents, like signing them up for telemarketer calls or other harmless annoyances. I went home and found a website dedicated to free stickers from various organizations. I signed my father up for several, around 20 to 30, under a misspelled version of his name. He despised it when people got his name wrong, which made it all the more satisfying. For a while, I didn't hear anything from them, but I would chuckle to myself about it. Then, about a year later, I learned they had moved. They stayed in the same area, but they had relocated. At first, I thought nothing of it, but then it hit me. They lived in an apartment with a small community mailbox, and I couldn't help but wonder if all those stickers and mailings contributed to their decision to move. My parents were known hoarders, and it would have been a huge effort for them to leave their home after 14 years. So I like to imagine that I played a small part in spooking them out of their fancy apartment. So is this petty revenge or pro-revenge? You tell me.